Good morning. My name is Peggy Reiser, and I have been here on the campus for a lot of years, and I enjoyed this. And Gary Baker is very well known in this area too, and very, very talented, as anyone can see if you come here to the gallery, the beautiful things that he has done. But he was not only that way, he was a wonderful person and was very, very thought of. And it's bad that he's not here now with all of us. And here at the gallery, seeing all the things he did, it just brings back a lot of memory to him. And I am very, very glad that I knew him and that he was someone that was very, very nice person to all others. And thank you for letting me say that, because he was an awesome, awesome man.
I'm Holly Scoggins, professor of art here at Polk State College, and I had the pleasure of being mentored by Gary Baker as I came in as a new faculty member here in January of 2013. I only knew Gary for a year, but he made a huge impact on my life by helping me, guiding me, teaching me all the ins and outs of the college, of the art department, how to help students in the right way. All of those things, Gary just provided all the help that I needed and was always there for me, always had time for me. And He mentored me, therefore he really held my hand through the process of becoming a new faculty member here and shared everything with me, was very frank about the information that he would give me and all of those tidbits that he would throw at me. He was very, very helpful and loving and kind. But I think what really stuck out most is the foundation that he provided his students. And he gave the students such a strong foundation in line, shape, texture, color, value, form, all of those things. And you could see Gary's own style and his artwork rub off on his students. But his students he never let his students copy him, right? They never let them copy just what he was doing. He always made his students have a clear and unique vision for what they were doing in the classroom. And he never slacked on craftsmanship, which I think was really wonderful. In his own artwork and when he instructed his students, craftsmanship was key. He instilled so many good things in his students, not only formal techniques or artwork techniques, but he was able to provide his students a foundation of, ethics and morals and all of these good things that the student should have, not in just the art world, but in their life in general. He was such a good person and always taught his students to be good to each other. And Gary's artwork that you see here is authentic. It's all Gary. You can't fake this. And there's unique textures and patterns and colors that are just Gary Baker. It's his style. And he had it through his entire life. And you can see such a range of work, but it all comes back to these simple textures, simple patterns, simple directions, and lots of figurative artworks. So this show, I think, is a testament to how much work he made, that he wasn't just sitting behind a desk or standing in front of a chalkboard teaching students. He was engaged with his students, but he was engaged in his own art making practice, which I think is really important. He didn't lose his love for making. He didn't lose, over his course of 30 so years of teaching, he never lost his passion for materials and methods and patterns and textures and color. He continued to make art. It wasn't, I have to make these 5 pieces for my faculty show. He lived what he made. He lived being an artist and being a teacher simultaneously. And I don't think one was greater than the other. I think they were equals. I think he was equally a practicing artist and equally a wonderful and engaged instructor. So I think that all of this artwork is just a snippet of all of the things that Gary made over his life.
I'm David Woods. I was co-professor with Gary Baker for many, many years. When I first got here, Bob Morrissey and Gary Baker were the 2 instructors, so they were my mentors for many years. I helped like photographed the parts of the show, and there were many pieces in the show that I didn't even know that Gary had done. So it was kind of insight for me about somebody that I knew for many years that I didn't actually know those parts of him. And when we started putting the show together, it was interesting to see this whole body of work over his lifetime. And I looked at that and I went, what a wonderful thing for people, a record of your life through art. And I think that was what Gary was. I don't want to come across sad on this because, I mean, the man is all about life. If you look at his work, it is all about life. And like I was saying at the very beginning, is that it's interesting to see someone's life in art. His whole span of art is in that room. And even I, knowing him for so many years, didn't ever know about that span. And so when we were going through the boxes and everything and pulling things out, I was seeing a lot of work that I had never seen before. And it was really insightful to see how his art changed, because everybody grows and everybody changes in their art. And so to see that, for me, that's a piece of Gary that I never knew. And I find that absolutely wonderful that I got to look at it. And I got to see it. And as the one that took the pictures for the catalog and all, I actually got to touch it and really look at it, and that was a big deal for me. We used to sit and talk in the mornings. If we were there at the same time, we'd get together and sit down in his office and have coffee and talk about what happened over the weekend usually. You know, what did he do? Did he go see his family? Was he working on a show? Gary was a great guy. He believed in family. He always talked about his family. Whenever we were sitting there, he would always update me on what the kids were doing, new babies, and that was just a big part of his life. His art and his students. He loved his students. He considered his students his family also, and he helped any student that needed help or direction or just wanted to sit and talk. He was there for them. And in his piece in his talk, he was talking about how he wanted to be remembered. And I've come to realize after working on this that the way we're remembered isn't by the things that necessarily we've left behind, but it's the people who we've impacted. It's those things that we've given to the people that they carry with them throughout their lives. And you're remembered in their hearts. And I think that all of us will remember Gary in our hearts. And I hope we take what we've learned from him and carry it on to the next group.
I am what I teach. Everything's possible. Everything's a nuance. It's what you do with these possibilities that makes art. And I would like to think that I've been making art out of my life for the past, well, more than 30, 40 years, but that's what I do. That's what I want to do. If I have something in a museum in the future, well, so be it, but that's not what I want people to know about me. I would like to think that they recognize that I made my life and my existence my art piece. I'd be hard put to single out one or two things to be considered my greatest achievement. I think my greatest achievement is always meeting a new class and relating to them and hopefully teaching them something that they can use in their future to make their time here not only enjoyable but meaningful. What I've experienced that's most meaningful is to see someone learn from something that I've done, or help them to learn, help them to grow to another area in their life. And pretty much I've always said to the classes, I'm not the end all. I'm not the one that I want you to become. I'm just one expression. And I'm telling you through my experience how I see the work on the wall. Now, you interact and you talk. In fact, if you want to argue with me, that's fantastic. What I don't want you to be is bored. I don't want you just to sit there. And for heaven's sakes, I don't want you to think about the grade. I want you to interact. I want you to be alive. I want you to be part of the whole aspect of creativity. And as far as educators, keep it up, guys and gals. Look back and remember a face that you saw 20 years ago, however old that face was, and say, I hope I made a difference in their life.